Greetings, Earth Faith here with Second Coming News. Today we're going to talk about the current situation in Sudan. Now, here we are, it's June 1st, 2023. In the last month or so, war broke out in Sudan. This war was between the army and the RSF, which was the Rapid Support Force, which is a paramilitary group that was working with the army. What happened was that Sudan signed on to the Abraham Accords, which is sponsored by Israel, really. Other countries that signed on to the Abraham Peace Accords included the United Arab Emirates. And now, what these are really alliances with Israel, the Abraham Accords. And these are not final world peace accords. Remember, as Christians, we believe that when Jesus comes to earth, he's going to bring peace on earth through a system of a world order which will be acceptable to both sides, to all sides in this war. What's going on in Sudan is that there was a third party besides the army and the RSF, and that was, they call themselves the civilians, and they wanted to take over the government and return to civilian rule. And they pretty much, through the Abraham Accords, legislated that the army and the RSF both hand over power to the civilian authorities. Now, there was a breakdown in the process because basically neither the Army or the RSF, nor the RSF, wanted to hand over power. Now, the Army is being led by a guy named Burhan, and is supported by Egypt primarily. The RSF, or Rapid Support, is led by a man known as Hameti, and he's supported by the United Arab Emirates, also by one of the two main warlords in Libya. Now, what we're gonna see here is that the civilians we mentioned, who through the Abraham Accords were gonna take over power, they really were not supported locally in Sudan. They were not rooted in local power. Their power was international through these Abraham Accords and Israel. And so today we saw the United States imposing sanctions, now this is an outside country, imposing sanctions on Sudan for having this civil war, because basically the United States also wants Sudan to hand over power to the civilians. Now, as an American, I understand you want what's best for your country. However, when Jesus comes, there will be no subjugation of nations. So, whereas the Abraham Accord is an alliance of friends of Israel in the context of conflict, and hopefully for the Israelis, they win the war, they end up being the winners in the current world war situation, and then the Israelis and their friends can dominate the others. However, the Christian alternative is to put Jesus in a place of authority as King of the Jews in Israel, in Jerusalem, and have a system of life for the transition of people, the religious process, Jerusalem being a religious city, from sinful living. We're talking about drug use, we're talking about prostitution, gambling, all of these things, that you might do one of these things, drinking even alcohol, which really is not good for you. Now, any of these things, smoking, got to give it up. I gave up smoking about a year and a half ago myself. And then you transition to a new way of living a clean life, and Jesus being the mediator. There is no loser in this system. There is no losing country. There is no losing party. Basically, it's a system of life that can ensure peace on earth by giving the individual a way to transition from sinful living and killing to a clean life. Now in Sudan, yes, the civilians who are supported by Israel, supported by the United States. Now Hameti, the leader of the Rapid Support Forces, he is intending to be the military force for the civilians if the civilians should take power. Whether Hameti will hand over power to the civilians or not is unknown. However, Hameti himself is wanted for war crimes due to his activities in Darfur, possibly involving some kind of ethnic cleansing. So basically, what we're seeing in Sudan is a breakdown in society, and what probably will be a model for Sudan is what you see in Libya, where you have a couple of warlords who basically run the country. Then you have a couple of sham governments. These are Western-style parliamentary governments where really nobody pays attention to them because they're using their tribal powers and the warlords enforcing the peace in Libya. And that's probably what you'll see in Mali, and that's probably what you'll see in Sudan. Earth Faith here, signing out.